Acumatica has released a quality management solution, QMS. Why? To provide you a solution that will support and streamline your internal quality needs, help you meet customer requirements and improve overall customer satisfaction, assist you in complying with industry, regulatory, and other compliance requirements. It does this by supporting quality testing in areas such as receiving, production, shipping, ongoing stability testing, allows users to utilize checklists and inspections, and provides control over the non-conformance as well as corrective and preventive action processes that provide you a structured process to investigate, evaluate, document, validate events that occur so that actions can be taken to help eliminate errors and improve overall quality. There are several recordings related to this solution: setup and configuration, testing related to a purchased item, testing related to a manufacturing item, testing for shipping, the non-conformance and corrective action process, and the use of inspection and checklists. This session is going to focus on how the solution supports the quality efforts related to items that are manufactured. So let's look at the product. This is the main menu for the QMS solution. In other recordings, we have talked about the basic setup of the module, severity levels, test methods, QC tools, tests, test plans, QC plans, sampling plans. Based upon you having viewed that recording, we will move to the stock code screen as the starting point for this recording. You notice that when I am on the main stock code screen, there is now a menu choice, Quality Control. This brings me to the screen where we configure an item that needs to be tested. First, you will see that you need to denote if this item requires testing. Second, you notice there is a panel for Global Tests. Global Tests is the only panel that relates to testing an item when it is being produced. Let us look at the Global Test Plan for production. You will select the test plan, test ID for this item. As covered in other recordings, a test plan is a test or group of tests and possibly a checklist that will apply to an item or group of items. Next, you select the result criteria: moderate, flexible, or rigorous. As noted in the recording on setup, this is used to determine if the inspection of a specific production order will be allowed to pass based upon the number of test samples that failed to meet the desired outcome. You then indicate if 100% of the items will be inspected or if a sample will be used. If sampling is used, the sampling plan will be selected and be used to compute the number of samples. Below, we see the tests that are included in the test plan. Tests can be numeric, alphanumeric, Boolean, yes, no, pass, fail. This is where we could edit tests to make the plan unique for that item. In this case, I'm going to change the minimum, maximum, and target value for a particular test. You can also add tests or delete tests as needed. Now let us move to the bill of material, where we indicate if there needs to be in-process testing. You see that two fields have been added to the standard bill of material screen: QC required, QC plan ID. For routing step 10, you see that it has QC required and a test plan has been added. Below, you see the test details, and as you saw on the stock code file, we could edit or change the tests. Important to point out that just as QMS quarantines items when they are received before they move into the stock production, QC gates the production of an item. We will not let the item move from operation 10 to 20 until the tests are performed and the items are passed. Now that we have done the setup of an item at the item level as well as the bill of material, let us create a production order and follow the process. Let us create a production order as we normally would. We will make one and release the order. We will now do a move. We are done with operation 10 and we want to move to operation 20. We take it off hold and we release it. Early in this recording, we talked about gating if a testing is involved in an operation. We will not allow the item, the process, to move forward until the needed testing is done. You can see that the system displays a message that the testing has not been done for operation 10. Now let us put our QC hat on and move to our dashboard. In the setup recording, we talked about dashboards, and they can be what you want them to be, just like anywhere else in Acumatica. We see we have an inspection order that needs to be processed. We drill into the QC order screen, we see details regarding the order. The top has details related to the production order, and the bottom is where we will enter results. While there is a mobile version to allow for the entry of these details, we will use this screen. Before results are entered, you can see details related to the test, and there is an Assign To field. The system allows you to assign tests to a specific user who is qualified to perform the test. Discussed in other recordings is tests can be numeric, alphanumeric, or Boolean, yes or no. A configuration option will determine if the user could see the inspected results. Let's enter the results. I'm going to fail the time test. Just like tests in other areas, you will have other options. You could leave it failed. You could add another sample. For now, let us just change my entry as I made an error. When we look at event history, we see there is a complete log of what was done and by whom. Discussed in this setup recording is security, as I could have been limited to just entering results. Now we need to post the results, evaluate the results, and again, security will control who could perform this process. When posting, the system, based upon setup, will determine if the QC order passes or fails. Based upon the results, you will be able to place the QC order on hold, reevaluate, add samples, or denote it's complete, which I will now do so we can move forward with completing the QC order. Let us go back to the production order and move the operation from 10 to 20. As the QC order was completed and posted, the system now allows the order to be moved. Now we will move the order out of operation 20, the last operation for that production order. Since this item was marked for production, testing, when it was completed, a few things happened. A QC order was created. The item was moved from the default bin at the end of production, receiving, into the QC quarantine location. Again, let us put on our QC hat and move to our dashboard. We see we have an inspection order that needs to be processed. Let us drill into the order and we will see a QC order screen, much like we have other QC orders. The top has details related to production order. The bottom has where we need to enter results. Again, we're going to enter the results on this screen, not the mobile version. Again, we could see details related to test, and again, there's an Assign To person who as we talked with earlier, might be the person who's required to use this test. Let us enter the results, and this time we're going to pass both tests and move forward. As in other areas, you have the same options related to results, retesting, etc. Next, we need to evaluate the results. Again, security controls who can perform this process. Based upon the number of samples, severity level, related criteria, the system will determine if this QC order passes or fails. Based upon the results, you could place the QC order on hold, enter more samples, reevaluate, or post the results. Complete the QC order. Posting order controls what happens to the item that was just completed. Remember, they are in a quarantine location. You can accept the item and move it to a location for further processing, reject it, scrap it. Maybe there was some destructive testing and some of the items were destroyed as part of the testing process. Let us accept all of the items. The QC order is now done, and the testing of a manufacturing item is also complete. In other sessions, you will see how certificates of analysis and related documents can be printed, as well as control charts and related analytics used to evaluate the quality of an item, the production performance, and overall quality KPIs. In closing, thank you for spending time reviewing this recording, and I hope you saw how the QMS solution could provide needed controls over items that are manufactured. Feel free to reach out to your Acumatica partner or Acumatica contact for more details, as well as view other recordings on the QMS solution. Thank you, have a great day, and be safe.